All right. And I've been saying for a while I want to save interrogations for later. And well, I want to cover Vincent's interrogation. Vincent is my absolute favorite person ever caught on TCAP. I I don't want to say I'm obsessed with him because that would be a bit weird, but I do very much enjoy his segment. I enjoy learning, what we find out about him as a community, and he's very fascinating to me. And thankfully, To Catch a Peanut found his courtroom audio, or I guess requested it, and we got to hear Vincent's voice again, which made me a little warm inside. But 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 I want to go over his interrogation, and his actual interrogation is quite long, and I don't feel like sitting through just a bunch of silence while Vincent whimpers about his life. So luckily, Yap Yap, who is a absolute legend in the TCAP community, who I didn't even really know about, um, posted interrogation highlights. So Yap Yap, I know you've done a lot for the community. I very much appreciate it. It is, it is what keeps this community alive. Because I mean, without all the work that she did, a lot of the stuff that we have wouldn't be the way it is today. But let's hop into it, shall we?
You're interested in police work, right?
My dad was a cop.
Your dad was a cop? Was or is?
Was.
Okay. Where did he work?
Long Island.
Where at what town?
West Hampton.
Right.
Now, right there, he mentions how he wanted to be a cop, and we know from his time with Chris that he was blabbering away. I wanted to be a cop. I'm fat. I can't do anything. And it's like, dude, you can lose weight, man. It is very easy for guys to lose weight. I'm a bigger man myself. I can, if I wanted to, I could drop 20 pounds before I know it, just because it's very easy for bigger guys to burn a lot of weight off. But also, he mentions his dad was a cop. I'm sure Joey knows a lot about that.
Yesterday was Mom's birthday.
Yesterday was?
Mm-hmm. I was just wondering, did anybody contact your parents?
Not yet.
Okay.
And we won't unless you want us
I
to.
prefer
Yeah.
not
No,
to.
you're an adult. You're 19, right? Yeah. Okay.
So Vincent mentions right there, did anyone contact my adults, my parents, and Beth, who is probably the best interrogator ever with any of to ever work with Chris Hansen on any of the stuff, has mentioned like, hey, you're an adult, we're not going to unless you want us to, and he's like, okay, I don't want. And he's like, okay, I don't want you to. So the weekend comes and goes, and Vincent's parents don't hear from him. They're like, what the fuck? Where's our son? And they end up calling the decoy. And that recording is out there. You've probably heard it before. But I'm going to actually play it real quick.
Hello?
Who's this? Who's this?
This is my phone. You called me. Who are you? I don't think I know you.
I don't know you, but you called my phone. Who are you?
I didn't call your phone. My phone just rang. I never called you.
Who is this?
My name is Jenna. Who are you?
Is this computer generated?
What are you talking about?
This is a
my
computer
phone.
generated voice. Is this Jenna?
I'm Jenna. Who are you?
I'm the police.
And you can hear, the dad, Dennis Ambrosio, be like, is this Jenna? And that was the decoy phone. And Lori was at the police station and was like, who the fuck is calling me? And it was Vincent's dad, Dennis. And, Joey mentioned this, but if Dennis was just like, hey, you're the last number my son contacted, where the fuck is he? Or we can't contact him. That would be a reasonable thing to say instead of being all hyper aggressive with the decoy. It was quite an odd phone call, but anyways.
14, around that
Okay.
age.
But in the last, looks like about the last month to 6 weeks, you've been
And
communicating.
how?
Well, we've been communicating with this young girl. What did you think her name was?
Jenna,
Okay. And how old did you think she was?
12, she said.
I'm sorry for pausing, but 12, I think that's one of the youngest decoy ever used. It was used a couple of times. And I've seen pictures of the decoy. It obviously looks very young. But I saw one picture the other day that I've never seen before. I honestly thought that decoy was like 8. It was. It's going to sound weird. But the decoy was in a bathing suit. And like I honestly thought that child was 8 years old. And the fact that Vincent found that attractive is vile. It is horrendous. And it it's gross to think about that how young that decoy looked. It was bad. But also, he spoke for like 6 weeks. That is a long time. And it's amazing that not like it's amazing that Lori, I think it was Lori was talking to Vincent, that she was able to keep that up for 6 weeks. Like she lived her life, normally in those 6 weeks, just every now and again looking at another phone, at least I think, and then, responding to perverts online for 6 weeks. It's insane.
Do you have siblings?
I'm a child.
What'd she call herself?
Jenna.
Jenna. Did she send you pictures too?
Mm-hmm.
What did they look like?
Just regular selfies and stuff like that.
Selfies of her face or her
Face.
body? Okay. And
And
did
she sent me one of her body.
She did.
And a bathing suit picture. She was at the beach or something. Her parents.
And did she look 12?
Yeah, yeah. Go around that age.
Okay.
Some of the pictures, she looks 12, but some she looked younger, and yeah, no more.
And so who initiated any kind of sexual talk?
I did.
Tell me about that.
I just, I guess I was just horny and I just talked about it.
So he mentioned right there that, he initiated the sexual talk. He was horny, so he just started talking about it. And, a little, gross, but, we all feel that way sometimes. But the important thing is to know the right way to handle it, Vincent. It's not something you just bring up with whoever you're chatting with. It's not something you bring up with who you have a crush on. It's especially not something you bring up with a minor. You whack off and you go to bed. And that's all you gotta do.
You talked about having intercourse with her.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the plan?
Originally, and then I kind of took back. I said a couple of times I don't really want to, and she said, well, I think I'm old enough, and I said I really don't think it'd be right.
Is that what you thought?
So he says there, he obviously flip-flops back and forth between I want to do it, I don't want to do it. And it's entirely tied to his horniness level of, he'll be horny, messaging the decoy like, oh, I want to do it. And then later on, he's no longer horny. He's like, oh, I don't want to do this. I know it's wrong. And that's the sign of someone who can't control themselves. If you know something's wrong when you're not horny, but you're willing to throw it away when you are, that's very much the sign of lack of impulse control. And it's very much the sign of arguably a future rapist. I'm not saying you are. And to Dennis, if you're watching this, I'm not saying your son is a rapist. I'm saying he's a attempted child molester. So just keep that in mind. The word attempted is load bearing there. It is not allegedly. He was convicted, and he was convicted again a couple months ago of possessing CP. So Dennis, if you're watching this, you're not a cop anymore.
And then today, actually, my grandfather didn't go to the hospital. I had said that because I really didn't want to come, but I thought it was wrong. But she just kept persisting, so, you know.
There it is again. I didn't want to come, but she kept persistent. Vincent, you were 19 in this sting. The decoy was 12. I have never once been, you know, snake-tongued into doing anything illegal for a child. If I, like how and I keep saying this because this is always an excuse people use on this show. Oh, the decoy talked me into this. No, they fucking didn't, dude. You came here on your own volition, man. You're an adult. Act it.
She said she was going to be by herself, and I felt bad. And I'm usually a kind person. I was just trying to be friendly.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do anything to her.
I'm usually a kind person. I didn't want to do anything to her. You very much wanted to. Some of the stuff that you said in your chat log is horrendous. Some parts of his chat log are so bad, I don't even want to repeat it, on mic. It's that bad. So he's very clearly lying there. The act of you being with her would hurt her. And oh god, dude. If you're ever bored, read his chat log. Or listen to Joey's reading of it. His immersion pack is quite interesting. And listen to what some of the stuff Vincent says. Because, oh my god, it is bad.
You didn't want to do anything to her, or you knew you shouldn't have done anything to her?
Both.
Yeah.
Originally, I wanted to, but I changed my mind. It wasn't appropriate. And she said her parents were divorced, and she was always very grown up. She had to take care of her pets herself. She had to do stuff.
She's 12, dude. Like, divorce sucks. It's horrible. Like, my parents are divorced. I'm fully aware of it. But never once, ever in my time of growing up did I think I need some emotionally unstable guy who flips out routinely if you don't message him back within a certain amount of time to comfort me in the situation. I also like the toilet paper there instead of a box of tissues. Vincent also said she was very grown up. She had to take care of her pets. Okay, when I was 12, I had a dog. You know what I did to take care of it? I walked it, I fed it, and I watered. And I put water in the bowl. And I'd go out in the yard and play with it. Pets are largely pretty easy to take care of on a child's perspective because the child doesn't have to make a fucking vet appointment. I think in his head he was trying to say very adult things that the decoy does in order to make it seem less like an actual 12-year-old and more like, a pseudo adult in a way. It's not a good look though.
For herself, and I associated myself with that because I have to do that. I'm an only child. I have to take care of my grandfather. My father doesn't get around. He has a bad knee. He walks on crutches. Mom's always at work.
So life is tough.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. Does sex do that for you? Get your mind off of your troubles?
Just jerk off all the time if I feel stressed.
Yeah.
Stress reliever.
Ugh.
I'm talking to you about that. Sorry.
That's a very gross
Have you?
thought that the Beth asks if sex was like a way to calm down for Vincent, and Vincent never actually had sex with a woman. He had sex with a man, and he got fucked by a man. So I'm not saying that's bad, and it's not my goal here, but I am saying that Vincent has no experience with sex. And he knows that. So he said, well, I just jerk off a little. It's a stress reliever. And it's very odd that he was willing to say that to the interrogator here. That was very unprompted. Like, you could have just said, like a truthful answer that kind of dodges the question, like, oh, I don't know, I've never really done it before. And it would be, okay, end of story. But he went with an odd answer there, but he's not thinking straight. So
been talking to anybody else?
Yeah, I was talking to this girl. She's from Jersey.
What's her name?
Hannah.
Hannah?
She hasn't talked to me in a long time now. About a week or two.
Yeah.
Supposedly she has her phone taken away. I really liked her.
What are you talking?
Hannah. So we don't know much about Hannah. What we do know is that, and this is also what Lori from HVP thinks, is that Hannah wasn't a real woman. It was like people, like guys pretending to be a woman to catfish Vincent. And I wish we had more info on who it was. I know there's been looks like some people have looked into like the profile picture that Hannah had, which comes back to like an online like nude seller, porn maker lady, porn star. But other than that, there's not really much known about her. But the little bit of chat log that Vincent does have with Hannah available to the public is very interesting for a multitude of reasons. Just because of how he's like, oh, I want to marry her one day. I want, I want to, he's talking about how he wants to marry Hannah. And it's very odd to be saying that to the 12-year-old that you also confess how beautiful they are too. And it's like you're kind of already being unfaithful in a way. Again, if you go over Vincent's chat log, Joey's reading of it is quite good. You'll hear Vincent say like how much he loves Hannah and how, he wants to marry her. And then, the next message will be like how much he wants to plow the decoy. And it's like, Vincent, man, not only are you a predator, but you're not loyal. Loyalty, by the way, in my humble opinion, is the single most important attribute of any relationship. So I kind of harp on guys for that because to me, loyalty is important. But also, sorry for how long this one has been paused. A lot of people think that Vincent was Hannah. I don't think that's true at all. With the way that he breaks down when, she hasn't messaged him and all that, I don't believe that he was Hannah. That seems completely wrong.
About sexual stuff with her too?
Yeah, we talked about it. She's 18, I'm 19.
She said she was 18?
Yeah.
Do you know her in real life? Have you seen her?
I wanted to meet her.
Yeah.
We were supposed to meet up at the Middletown area, like Gator Mountain and stuff like that.
Middletown, New Jersey?
No, New York.
New York.
It was a halfway point.
When was that supposed to happen?
2 weeks ago, she canceled. I said, well, Wednesday we're going to the lake up by me. She said, oh, I guess I can try to come. And she ended up having work. And I started feeling like she...
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. He tried to set up a meeting with Hannah, and Hannah was probably just dudes catfishing her. But catfishing him. And it's like from an outside perspective and see like, oh, I wanted to meet her. We were going to meet here. She never showed. And now we're going to try to meet elsewhere. And, that like we tried to meet 2 weeks ago and then, in a couple of days we were supposed to meet again. And it's like, Vincent, like, what's your game plan, dude? Like, you're going to meet a 12-year-old to rape and then meet Hannah, who was 18, and whatever you guys were going to do. And it's just kind of odd how, like, his game plan, if he even had one at all.
She didn't really want to talk to me.
Did you ever introduce Hannah and Jenna?
Yeah, I think so.
He says, yeah, I think so. He did. He added the decoy to a group chat that Hannah was in. And at this is the point where I think the people that were pretending to be Hannah, or person singular, we aren't sure. I think that's the point where that the catfish realized, like, holy shit, Vincent's like an actual like predator. I need to distance myself from him. And also, like, I don't want to be in a group chat with a man who was attracted to this minor, and I don't want to be connected with it at all. and I think they kind of broke it off from there. Because that is also very weird to get the woman that you said you want to marry and the child that you said you want to rape in the same group chat is certainly very odd. It's weird.
Via what? Via what's
The
happened?
kicks,
Okay. And so they communicated, the two of them?
I guess.
Were you trying to get something sexual to happen between the three of you?
Yeah, I think at one point I did want something.
Was there like a role playing you guys were gonna do or something like that?
Yeah, I guess we kind of like a family kind of thing.
Yeah. And so help me understand that. Like you and Hannah were gonna be mom and dad?
Yeah, I guess like that.
And have Jenna watch or have Jenna participate or what?
Probably both.
What did you have in mind?
This part, I don't remember the portion of the chat log where he talked about any of this. I know he did ask Hannah to tell Jenna like how good sex is and how to play with herself, and Hannah kind of never answered, which the right thing to do. And then whoever was Hannah got out of there. I don't think they ever left the group chat. I think they just kind of like abandoned it. But like Vincent, why the fuck? Like you really think you with zero game is gonna set up a three-way between you, the woman you want to be married to in the future, and a 12-year-old? That doesn't get talked about much. That he was willing to do that with a minor, let alone one who was 12. It is quite odd. And also, that should be an extra charge right there. That should be like fucking 4 extra charges. He never should have got out of prison, now that I think about it.
Well, what did you tell her you wanted to do?
I think I wanted to have Jenna join in, or have her and Hannah do something. I don't remember.
You wanted Jenna to join in with you
Yeah.
and Hannah having like sexual intercourse?
Uh-huh.
Some of the text I saw, you were really encouraging her to touch herself.
Yeah.
Is that something that you like to watch or something you wanted her to do for you?
He was very pushy with it. He asked a lot. Granted, he has a lot of chat log, so he probably asked at a pretty similar rate to most other guys on the show. But he was quite persistent with it. And I don't know if the interrogator is going to bring this up. I kind of hope she does. I don't remember. But Vincent also asked for the decoy to grab a ruler and measure how long the slit is. Which is such a fucking weird line. But to ask for, like, actual dimensions, like something you could put on an architectural drawing. Like, can I get, like, an isographic view of your vagina, please? Like, on, like, a fucking... Like, can I get, like, a technical drawing of your vagina, please? With dimensions, volume, and all that, and stuff. And it's like, Vincent, what exactly are you looking for in there? It's quite odd and gross and disgusting. Come on, man.
Or what?
No, honestly, I don't know why I said the stuff. I just said it. I just woke up around 8:30, I think I did.
Mhm.
I saw she had messaged me last night. I guess you guys changed the time you wanted to meet.
Yeah. What time did you initially want to meet?
I think she said her parents were going to leave early.
She said her parents were going to leave early.
Yeah, like at 8 o'clock or something,
But just taking a kid from the house is, kidnapping. Still a crime, dude. Maybe not legally, but should be.
This picture, it's covered with
Yeah,
star.
I know.
You sent that?
Yeah,
Okay. Is that yours?
yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Well, it's a pretty big star.
Now that is Ambrosio's dick pic, and it is a interesting dick pic because I never thought about this until Joey mentioned it. and much respect here to Joey, and this is his statement originally. He measured it against a pink toothbrush. Now, you think Vincent had a pink toothbrush? Whose toothbrush was it? Just a little thing to think about.
It's all about the angle.
It's all about the angle, eh? You giving tips to Beth? I don't think Beth takes many dick pics, dude. In fact, I believe she has taken 0 in her entire life. So, nice.
And you think you're not that big. You're telling her, I'm not that
God.
big. I bet I could fit inside you.
Oh, God.
You're not that big. You're telling her,
This line... this line... it's my favorite line ever to be said in TCAP. I'm going to back it up again.
And you think you're not that big. You're telling her, I'm not that big. I bet I could fit inside you.
Yeah.
Dude, there is no man on this planet that has ever been okay with saying that. Like, it's such, like, the amount of info that you can derive off of that sentence alone about someone is a gold mine. And to have it read back to you, not just by Beth here, but also by Hansen while you're sobbing in a house who you don't even know whose house it is, while you're just sitting there crying. It's such a good line. I'm not that big. I bet I could fit inside of you. If I was at that Sting house, if I was like one of the camera guys, or just like one of the crew watching on the monitor, and I hear Hansen say that, I'd burst out laughing. No doubt in my mind.
As you can see, I was excited at that time.
Yeah. And so you were touching yourself, and you wanted her to do the same. Did you guys specifically talk about the sexual acts you were going to do today?
I think earlier on we did.
What did you say?
Whatever's there, I don't remember. I don't remember specifics.
What was in your mind coming there?
Just-
What was your...
I don't remember
Sex.
virgin sex. Just
You've never had sex before? You've ever had any kind of penetration with a girl?
no,
Oral sex?
no.
Damn, dude. 19 and needing to admit that. I'm not trying to shame anyone who is. It's not my point. But to, given the context here, it's quite funny. And given his next statement, it's also quite funny.
You knew what to do from like watching porn,
Yeah.
or you wanted to experience it?
Mm-hmm.
Porn is not the space to learn about sex. It's not.
You were talking to her, I think this past Friday,
Helen?
saying, Jenna saying, we will probably have sex. LOL, I'm really horny. I want your young pussy so bad.
Yeah.
Who?
I say it.
That was the line earlier that I was referencing. I don't even want to repeat that line. It's that bad. And not only to say it, but to recognize how horrible of a line it was, like right after you said it. Like afterwards, I think he says like, "Oh my God, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm such a perv." Like you are, and that line just really sends the point home that you are, and you haven't changed, Vincent. You haven't changed. It's such a disgusting line. Like that might be like top 10 worst lines ever said, in TCAP history, just by how vile it is. It's oh God, it's rough.
He said, oh my God, I can't believe that I am a perv. What's wrong with me? Were you looking for a little bit of shock value there? Were you looking to kind of shock her? Or?
No, I just like I said, I was horny, but when I get horny, I don't really think straight. As you can see, kind of the text changed a little bit. I don't know if you read them all.
No.
Like from one second I'm okay, and 1 second I'm talking about it, I kind of just move away from it because I relieve myself.
Does your medication affect how horny you get?
I think the Adderall does.
Which means what, more Adderall, less horny?
Yeah, more Adderall, I think I've been more.
More horny.
Now, I don't know. I've never taken Adderall. I don't know. But at the same time, if you are aware of, how it can change you, you're aware of how the side effects affect you, you are allowed to stop taking it. I know some medicines, doctors say, like, if you don't like it, just stop taking it. But also sometimes you gotta, like, talk to your doctor first and just be like, hey, I really don't like the mindset this medicine puts me in. And the doctor will say, okay, we'll get you off of it. And, like, you went on this ramble inside the house with Chris about, like, how much Adderall you take. And you like, how you're, like, basically overdosing it. And now you're going to sit here and talk with Beth about how, the more you take, the hornier you are. You're feeding into it, man. Like, you are willingly, surrendering yourself to the pills. Like, it's almost like you're abusing medication.
Yeah. And you said you're on a pretty high dose, or you're coming off
No,
a
I
high dose.
screwed up.
Yeah, I heard that with the 30 milligrams. You thought they were 10s.
Yeah, did you say I'm shaking now?
Yeah.
I was shaking like that every day because I was on 180.
Sorry, we're going to play that back.
Did you say I'm shaking now?
Yeah.
I was shaking like that every day because I was on 180.
When did you come off?
Okay, he said when. I thought he said because he was horny. Obviously, I don't know medicine. It's not my, cup of tea. It's not my expertise. But, you you're basically overdosing, or now anyways. And the mindset it puts you in. Like, you're clearly aware of how bad this is. And yet you were so tempted by the allure of the 12-year-old that you didn't care.
Off a 180. Today is Saturday.
2 Fridays ago.
Have you ever met someone else that you met on a social media? Have you ever met them in real life other than today?
I met a guy.
You did?
Yeah, I didn't want to really say that, but
Okay. Like I said,
I
everyone has
experimented with him.
You did what?
I experimented with him.
Okay.
Ew.
So did you have intercourse with him?
Yeah.
This is the part I was referencing earlier. And I'm not trying to harp on, gay people. I know some gay people, and they're all pretty solid people. There's nothing wrong with being gay. That's not my point with this segment. But Vincent was so ashamed to have the title of virgin. I don't remember if he was, he's going to say, I don't know if he was 18 or 19 when this happened. But he was so ashamed to have that title that he did this. And he might be secretly bi or something, or gay or whatever. I don't know. But does it not, Vincent, being a virgin isn't a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with it. Like, there's a social stigma about it when you're younger because, it's cool, you gotta try it. But then, there's nothing wrong with... I know that's weird to say, but it's true. It's normal. It's normal for, the early life. And you're allowed to. And you're also allowed to let some guy fuck you in your grandfather's bed. One of those is weird, and the other one is normal.
And how old was he?
18.
You know for sure?
No.
Where did you meet him?
I was
What was his
because I had posted I wanted to lose my virginity and just get over it because I'm 19 and I feel ridiculous.
You posted on there. How long ago did you post that?
That was months ago.
So you had changed it by the time you met Jenna?
Posts, they don't...
Oh, you just put like one message out? Like,
Yeah,
hey,
it doesn't,
Gotcha.
I think one page, so
But it's like, Vincent, you don't need to admit to that. Like, it's funny, it's weird, but it's not a crime. And it's okay to be a virgin. Like, he just said, like, I didn't want to be one anymore. There's no change afterwards that happens. You're still going to wake up the same person, except, you won't have this arbitrary title put over your head that really, who would know about it except, like, assuming you didn't tell anyone, you're still gonna say, you're a virgin. Because do you want to like be playing video games with your buddies or something? Like, yeah, guys, I'm not a virgin anymore. And they're like, dude, we're out of high school. That's not cool to talk about anymore. And you say, oh, okay. It's like you're losing the title for a very weird personal reason, and I'm not sure I understand.
No kinds of fun.
And here she's telling you she's 12, what grade she's in.
Yeah.
Did you believe her? You didn't?
As you can see throughout the whole conversations, I've always been kind of skeptical that she was actually 12 and not. I think I actually had mentioned in one of the messages that I was worried that she was a cop.
This boy, the 18-year-old that you had sex with.
I don't talk to people.
Okay. What was his username or whatever on this part?
I don't remember.
How long ago was that?
August, June, or July, I think it was.
And where did you guys meet?
At my grandfather's house, because nobody was there.
No, and is that in the same town? Oh, is
Yeah,
that your
well,
house?
that's Poughkeepsie.
Imagine being, Vincent's family and hearing about that. Like what's your response? Like, how do you even handle that? It's just the thought of going to someone else's house, especially a family member, to go do that is horrendous. And on his bed, you couldn't meet anywhere else? You couldn't get a hotel? You were How old do you need to be to get a hotel? I don't know if actually 19-year-olds could get hotels. You couldn't get like an Airbnb or something, dude? Or literally anything else? Oh, God. I don't know if this is just me, but going in someone else's bedroom is very much like a personal experience. Because it's their bedroom. It is like their closest, sanctum to themselves. And to go to your grandfather's bedroom and use it to get plowed by another man because you didn't want the title of virgin, because you're so scared of the social stigma that would come with. Even though it doesn't really come with anything if you don't tell anyone. It's gross that he did that.
How do you spell Poughkeepsie?
Poughkeepsie. PSIE. That's right.
And were you penetrated or was he? Or both?
Both.
So you have
Mostly. I guess, yeah, technically.
Congratulations. After sitting here with a woman you don't know, you just divulged one of your deepest secrets to someone, and she can say now that you aren't a virgin. Way to go, dude. Way to go. Beth just mentions how well he handles it, and I am surprised that he isn't just absolutely breaking down right now. Because if I had, to speak to someone, well, you don't have to speak to this person, but if I spoke to someone and divulged some of my, deepest secrets in a setting that is very uncomfortable, not with someone you care about, but with someone who cares about solving a crime that you committed, I'd be on the floor. I wouldn't be in this spot to begin with, but I'd be on the floor bawling my eyes out, dude.
Unfortunately, you're going to be forced to grow as you gut it out through this whole process. It's going to suck. But you are.
First time I've cried in months.
Yeah? That's a good thing, right? Do you look at that as a good thing?
I guess. Yeah. After holding the ring in for so long.
Right. So this could be the first day of major change for a positive direction.
Probably not.
Why? Why do you say that?
I don't mean with this stuff. I mean with my life in general. Is this stuff I'm not going to do again?
You're not going to do this
No,
again?
it was stupid. Like I said, it was more just to get my mind off the stuff and...
Vincent. Part of me can almost understand, just getting someone to talk to. Because having a close person that you can count on is a very important thing in life. But Vincent, it's not going to come from a 12-year-old. Like, yes, it was like you thought you were speaking to a 12-year-old when really it was Lori, who I think was in her 40s or 50s at this time. I don't actually know. So you were technically speaking with another adult. But, you thought it was a 12-year-old. And how much emotional support do you think a 12-year-old can bring? That you're going to ask them, you're gonna say shit like, "Oh, I'm super sad, I'm lonely and depressed," and they're gonna say like, "Oh, that's cool. I just got done watching Coco Melon."
Do you see how you could find other targets to just talk to?
Yeah, I guess I could have. Well, the thing was with Jenna, she actually talked to me mostly on the whisper thing, because it's anonymous. Once I send my pictures, and they stop talking to me. Picture of my face.
Is there anything on your phone that we're going to find? Because we are going to do a search warrant for your phone.
Yeah, there was a link in my notes.
This part, obviously, it's very good that he admitted to this because now we know that he was a worse person than we initially thought. But how do why do you admit to that, man? Like, they'd check your messages, your, like, calls, pictures. I don't think they would, dive deep into notes. They might look at, like, some of them, but, you didn't have to say that, dude. You really didn't. It's kind of stupid.
With young girls.
What kind of stuff with young girls?
Videos.
Okay. Where did you get those?
Somebody had sent them to me from Whisper.
From where?
Whisper.
And they look like girls under 16?
Yeah.
Having intercourse?
Yeah. I recently got it.
How many videos?
I don't know. It's something I think people just keep adding videos to.
Do you have like a Google Docs or something? Is that what it is?
I think Box or something it's called.
Box. Okay. What else?
Nothing else that pertains to the case.
Are we going to see you talking to other younger girls besides
Well,
Hannah?
there's this one girl I'm talking to. She's 14, but it's nothing sexual.
Okay.
It's another girl I met on the Whisper thing.
Okay.
And right there, obviously, they would have found out about this. But you admit to speaking to multiple girls. And this one, you're going to talk about, like, oh, she has cancer or whatever. And it's like, so are you going to provide the emotional support now? Because you clearly aren't able to provide it for yourself. And doing it for yourself is the most important person to do it for. And you can't. You admit that. He was just looking for another excuse to talk to the child.
Yeah, I had cancer. So I was talking to her about that. And her friend Lynn,
What was her name?
that's what she said. She said she's from Jersey too. We had a lot in common. We were both kind of down the dumps, both longish. I was just talking to her on the kicks thing.
Do you want to talk to me? Is there something else you want to talk about?
With the bell, I said I felt like I fell in love. I constantly say that. If you look, I just feel so lonely when somebody's so kind to me.
Yeah.
Come on, Vincent.
I told you, I told, maybe I said in the car, my grandfather didn't even go to the hospital today. It was just, I said it because I didn't want to come.
How would that have prevented you from coming?
Because it gave me an excuse not to come.
Right. So you put out an excuse for you not to come, but you still...
She got mad.
This part, he's trying to... Part of me thinks he doesn't want, Beth to go away, because then he knows, like that's another door shut. He will be out of this interrogation room and into a cell. And I think he's trying to prolong that. He's just trying to, get, pity points, like, oh, I didn't want to come here. The decoy kept persisting. Obviously, we've heard that before. But he came up with the excuse, my grandfather was in the hospital. I'm just going to let him finish right now.
Like I said, I felt bad because she was home alone. Her mother just left her. I figured I could just go sit and watch movies with her or something.
Bullshit.
I really don't want to do anything to her. I didn't want to. Like I said, I was just horny. Just talking with the wrong head.
Talking with the wrong head is quite possibly the most intelligent thing that Vincent has ever said. he knew it was wrong, and he goes over that a bunch of times. He even says it in the chat. But to then sit here and try to weasel your way out with a pathetic excuse of, "Oh, my grandfather was in the hospital." Like you came up with that excuse for a reason to not come here, but you're gonna ignore it anyways because you know you wanted the child. Like there's no sympathy driven to you. You're the reason that sympathy needs to be given to real victims.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be the first. You just gotta talk with the wrong head to someone over 16.
Hey, Vince, you got two heads, and you know which one can reason and which one just you want to put the blame on for your actions here. You don't need like yes, you're blaming the wrong head and all that, and it's a very good euphemism to make, but at the end of the day, it stole your head. I don't mean this in like a weird way or anything, but you are still fully in control of it. And anatomically speaking, no. But metaphorically speaking, you're in control. And you lost control. And you admit that. Whether or not you realize it, you admit that. And that goes to show just how dangerous you really are.
You want to check on you?
Oh yeah, I woke up and talked to Mom, I rolled back over and went back to sleep. Cause that's all it did to me.
Okay.
Just me.
Now, Vincent, like you're really just going for the pity points at this point. The pain that you feel in your chest right now isn't an impending heart attack, though it might be from your diet. But it's not an impending heart attack. That is the feeling of realizing that you fucked up. That is, you just your body realizing, we fucked up, and this can sound a little harsh, but you mentioned like, oh, I tried to OD on like my grandfather's oxycodone or whatever. Like you are obviously very aware that you have a problem, and you already go to therapists, and the medicine isn't working. At this point, you're due for a lifestyle change, Vincent. Like you can get a job. You need a job, not on a farm with kids, but you can get a job. You can work in a warehouse. You can work in manufacturing where there are no kids. You can get a job and you can lose weight. Okay, that right there would be such a massive boost to your emotional health that you wouldn't need to be in this situation if you were willing to put in the effort to actually change. But you wanted the easy change, which is just taking a bunch of medicine and never changing who you really are. You're just letting the medicine determine your feelings.
I'm tired. I thought maybe it'd kill me.
Did you ever talk about that with the doctor?
No, I never said that to anybody.
No.
Well, except Mom. Mom, I usually tell everything. I didn't want to tell the doctor because I didn't want to go back to like 4 weeks.
What was 4 weeks?
It's like a inpatient hospital.
And you aren't willing to change. I understand, like depression can be very much a hindrance to the mind. But at certain points, you just need to power through it. I mean, the human spirit is capable of so much more than just sitting here sulking over your own actions. You are in control, and you can recognize that, but you never wanted to.
For people that want to hurt themselves, and people with medical illnesses that want help.
Is that in New York? When were you there?
2014, when I was trying to graduate high school. I had stopped going to school. I was in bed all day. The sheriff came and picked me up from the house and brought me in and talked to the social worker at school. And then the crisis unit came and they said, well, why don't you try going? Because none of the pills working. So I said, well.
So right now he's just kind of mumbling. But he talked about how in 2014, which was a year before this, when he was trying to graduate high school, he got admitted to 4 Winds. And, part of me, I feel like at that point you were a minor. So you clearly had these problems for a long time. And at a certain point, I do feel like your parents are to blame. Like, obviously now you're an adult, but you're 19, you're entry level adult. You're still very much under the influence of the way your parents raised you. And I kind of suspected this for a while, but I really think that Vincent's parents aren't very good at being parents. Obviously, I've never been a parent, and at this rate, I'm never gonna be. But there's a right way and a wrong way to raise your child, and I think Vincent's parents just coddled him like a little baby all the time. Like, this was another thing that Joey mentioned, and I'm kind of gonna piggyback off of it. But do you think Vincent was at home and he would say like, "Oh, I don't want to do this," and his parents just say, "Okay, you don't have to." He never got disciplined. I don't think he ever had to, you know, kind of really do much. If that makes sense. Like, yes, he had chores and stuff, but at the end of the day, you know, if your parents don't push you and discipline you when required, they don't really do a good job. And I obviously don't know the inner workings of his family, but I'm willing to bet that it was that I'm willing to bet that the lack of parenting from his parents played a rather significant role in the man he turned out to be.
We tried going to Four Winds, so I went to Four Winds. Was there from April to end of May. And they said, "Oh, these pills, yeah, take them, they should help." Yeah, okay. 5 months later, still feeling like crap. I switched doctors, switched medication, and still feel like crap. My thing is, nothing works. Just, I don't want to go on anymore. It's just, I keep screwing up. I can't pass high school. I screw up a job. I can't get a job. I don't have any motivation to get out of bed. I screw up with taking care of Grandpa.
Vincent, you're sitting here rambling about how your life sucks, how you can't hold down a job. You know, and like I said, to an extent, I can sympathize with that. I do have a little bit of empathy, but you're 19. You are at the fruit of your life right now, and you need to change, but you aren't. You don't. You want to, but you want someone to do all the work for you. You want the medicine. You want the shock therapy. Yeah, I don't like the term man up. I think it's not a very correct term to use. But, Vincent, at a certain point, you got to put on your big boy shoes. You got to put on your big boy pants, not pull them up this high, but pull them up and realize, I need to get shit done. What you got to find something that gives you drive. For some, it's, the pride of your ancestors. Fuck, that could be something. You can look, there are so many avenues to turn towards, but you didn't want to turn towards an avenue. You wanted to be driven down it. Vincent, this was all on you and your parents.
Sometimes I won't even get out of bed to get him up in the morning. If I make Dad do it, he's crippled.
Well, listen, you are in a situation where you don't have to make any more decisions for yourself.
Right.
Because you're going to have people telling you what to do. Have you just stand up?
Which way are you going to cuff me front and back?
You want to be in front?
Alright, that's it. I don't think there's anything interesting. There's about 45 seconds left. So I just want to say, again, thank you to YAP YAP. I very much appreciate the work that you've done. It is very important to the community. But other than that, that's really all I got for Vincent's interrogation. I don't do like deep dives on like the actual like technical sense of it. I think that's kind of a waste of my time because I don't know that stuff. That's not what I'm knowledgeable on. There are other people like Dave's Lemonade, Dredden. I don't know if Dredden has done Vincent yet, but those people are a lot more involved with the technical side with it and the legal side. I'm just a lot more involved in the TCAP side. So that's really about all I got. But if you made it this far, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'd just like to say thank you and keep your head held high, King.